Hey, how you doing today? I am Taquila Coleman. In today's video, I'm going to answer another question that was sent in. Hi, Tequila. I've been on this God ordained spouse journey for a little over 3 years now, and it's been a wild ride to say the least. I only recently found your YouTube and can see how God has taken me through all of the steps you lay out, which is crazy to see in hindsight. I believe I'm in 8 now. So she believes she's in stage 8. I had countless prophetic dreams of my spouse and so much revelation over the years. He rejected me in 2021, and I felt it spiritually before I saw it happen physically. And that's when I had peace to leave so we can be divinely separated and start my process. One of my dreams recently happened that he would get engaged to the counterfeit, and all throughout the dream, God pointed out to me signs that she is indeed the counterfeit. And he did this year, and he did this year, get engaged. I gone I gone through my whole process with God. It seemed, and even with my spouse, like praying and fasting for him. It's like God took me through this process before he uh, got on it, and I fought beside him. I come to this new place of letting go, and I guess I just feel like I come full circle, but also like I lapped it all multiple times. I unfollowed him for a bit months ago, mainly because I was trying to heal and it was too tempting to watch him. And I always just see him with the counterfeit anyway. God led me to follow him again after some time, honestly, just before he announced getting engaged. And I don't want to unfollow him again. It's just hard watching him stay in the same place. I don't keep tabs on him, but his engagement announcement had popped up on my feed. My desire, urgency to pray for him went away, and I had made sure with God that it wasn't due to needing healing after watching him get engaged. And that was hard, honestly, because I wasn't sure what was happening. Then I realized the more I held on, the harder it was becoming. I was becoming more resentful. It felt like it was causing me to go backwards because I already addressed these things. God just wasn't in that past season anymore. I think it's because of the new season he has me in of letting go and walking in purpose. With all of that, my question is, do you think it is okay to have a soul tie with him still? I think I never realized that I did form one with him. I guess I only thought that could happen with sexual relations. Does it make it harder to let go, or is it possible to let go and still have one? I know I know I'll always love him and know he's my spouse, but I feel like I'm anticipating more pain if I just keep seeing him push away. I'm just not sure how to navigate this new place. Thank you and God bless you in advance. Okay. Thank you for your question. So let's talk about this soul tie, okay? And I'm gonna tell you exactly what the Lord revealed to me, okay? Because it is possible. It is. You do have a soul tie with your prodigal spouse, and this is for everyone who listened to or watched this video, okay? We can form soul ties with our prodigal, and I need you to understand what this means because your soul it consists of your mind, your will, your emotions, right? And so we already know tied. We got our mind is tied into this, right? We have our soul, your will, your this is the place where you make your decisions from, right? All of this, your mind, your emotions, your will is all tied into a prodigal. And you're going to hear God say to you, first he causes a divine separation. And if we still go in the kitchen, then God would eventually, I know for a fact, when you get to stage 8, He's going to tell you to let your spouse go. And what this means is God is now he wants you to deal with that unhealthy soul tie you formed with that prodigal because God never chose the prodigal. The prodigal is the enemy's choice, okay? That's the version. The prodigal represent the enemy, okay? So God want us, the believing spouse, to break that unhealthy soul tie we form with our prodigals, okay? And I talk about this inside of our God Ordained Marriage Academy. Just head over to godordainedmarriages.com/academy to get the replay. But what God is after, just like how you were saying, God gave you the dream that this man is about to get engaged, only for that engagement to pop up in your feed, right? And then next thing you know, you start feeling resentful, right? And you just start feeling all these negative emotions coming up on inside of you. That's what God is talking about. That's the soul tie He want believing spouses to deal with. Okay, whatever it is that happened in your past, God is telling you that's the soul tie He want us to break with the prodigal version, okay? Because God is already doing a new thing in this God ordained love story. He's restoring you. He's moving you into a level of healing. He's restoring your prodigal and moving your prodigal into a level of healing. So we cannot take the old. We cannot take that hurt and pain, the resentment, the bitterness, the anger, the disappointment. We can't take all of that into the promised land, into our God ordained marriage. When it come together, we can't take that into there. And so God would call you to the carpet and He would tell you to let go of your spouse. And what that simply means is break that unhealthy soul tie you form with your prodigal. And going back to what you were saying, soul ties, you don't necessarily have to have sex with that person to form a soul tie. You could form an emotional soul tie with an individual. You know, you could be thinking about this individual and the things that they have done to you or the things that have happened to you, that came as a result of this individual. And it can have you so tied up and connected. Well, not connected, but tied up, focusing on the past to where now it has become toxic, where you are unable to move forward. And so, again, this is what God is calling for God ordained believing spouses to deal with. Okay, because He cannot release His new thing to you if you still living in the past. Okay, He cannot release your God ordained prodigal spouse. They won't be a prodigal at this time, but He can release your spouse to you if you have not healed from the engagement, if you haven't given yourself clarity or how this engagement come about, or if you were betrayed, if you haven't walked yourself through these steps, or the rejection, God cannot release your spouse to you if we haven't, made sense of the hurt and pain from the past and release that. Okay, God is doing a new thing. Now it is springing up. So, yes, it is possible that we can form soul ties with prodigals. But God doesn't want us. He want us to break that unhealthy soul tie we form with the prodigal version of our spouses, okay? Because the prodigal version represents the enemy. So we don't want to take that rejection, the betrayal, the unforgiveness, the disappointment. We don't want to take any of those things into the promised land, okay? So that is some things that you could be working on right now while the two of you are still in divine separation, okay? If you need assistance in this area of healing, and just making sense of why this happened, why that happened, head over to godordainedmarriages.com. Click on the tab that says coaching and book a one-on-one session with myself today. Okay. So with that, I am Taquila Coleman. I'll talk to you real soon. Take care.